If you're a Steelers fan and you wave that terrible towel and you don't watch this podcast regularly, you're missing the boat.
Welcome to the Steelers Realm Podcast. And now, here are the boys of Steelers Realm.
Good evening, Steeler Nation. Welcome to another episode of Steelers Realm Podcast. Happy to be with you once again here on a Falcons week. I'm one of your hosts, JT. Good to be with you guys. Joining us here, the triple threat tonight over on the other side, joining me from the other side of the Pennsylvania border in the Browns country. It's the famous TA with his look at the hybrid sweater, Steeler hybrid sweater.
Evening, Steelers Nation. You like that, JT? I love this sweater. This is my favorite sweater, man.
Like the hood. Yeah.
I love it because it's got a little Steely on it, man. I'm fond of Steely, man. I got a lot of Steely stuff. I like Steely, man. I think we need to bring Steely back, actually. It'd be nice to see him just take an I-beam over them dirty birds this weekend. That's really what I want to see.
He did. We actually got him to help us with our one of our spots for Freight Train that Forged in Steel. Actually, little steely background there too. But hey, rounding out the triple threat tonight, a man from Punksy. Here he is, CJ, commentator. What's up, buddy?
Is that the punk from Punksy?
Feels great to be back, TA. Feels great. I'm a little rusty after that Thanksgiving break. I disappear for a week, and we go out and we grab a W on Monday night. How nice is that?
How about
I'm just
that?
telling you, if we lose this weekend, you're not coming back on.
I mean, some people have said that on Twitter. If this guy's back, they lose. Time for him to go.
He's got to go.
Go.
Mike Tomlin and the boys better be ready to roll this weekend in old Atlanta.
That's it. Well, Freight Train couldn't be with us tonight. His week off, so he got the Dirty Birds off. Falcons off this week. A lot to get into tonight, guys. Looking forward to it. We got a segment. We brought a segment back. It just couldn't be
could not talk about this idiot.
It could not be helped. But before we do that, we didn't send congrats out, but we're going to do it tonight. Congratulations, USA soccer team, for defeating Iran. Yeah, it's a crowd noise. Yeah, now that wasn't the end of it all, though. And you guys, we were talking beforehand. What went on over there? It didn't fly very.
Yeah, it was ugly, man. It was ugly. All right, CJ, you want to tell a story or I tell a story? It doesn't matter.
You can let the story rip. It's not a good one, and
no, it's kind of a downer, and I think the reason we're bringing this story up, JT, is just to let Steelers Nation and just America know how fortunate we are to be in the country we are, and you know how quickly we can lose just certain freedoms if we don't all start banding together. But bottom line is after the game, there's been some issues in Iran, and the soccer players went ahead and protested by not singing their own national anthem. Well, word come down from the dictatorship, basically, hey, you will sing this, and we've got the army out here that's going to go ahead and do it. Well, After the USA won, it was a 21 or 24-year-old was in Iran celebrating by honking his horn when the Iranian militia came up and put one in his head.
Wow.
It's kind of one of those things is, someone in that age group, you take a step back and you look. everything that surrounds you, and we root for the Steelers, we root for their sports. For something like that to take place, and as you said, they're having some serious political unrest over there with some other issues, some serious human rights issues that no one wants to actually talk about. It's not talked about enough.
No, it's not. And what's going on in China too while we're there. But we're not getting political tonight. So, but we did want to touch on that too. You guys shared that follow-up story with me. So, but anyhow, congrats to USA. They play Saturday, correct? They play Saturday again.
Saturday, 9 a.m.
Yeah. So
another thing, playing CJ?
The Netherlands, I believe.
The boys in orange. The boys in orange. We're gonna have to squeeze a little juice, guys.
I don't know what that means. I'll be honest.
The Netherlands, man, they're all orange.
I know they have the orange jerseys.
Oh yeah,
I know they got the pride of the Netherlands, Randall Simon, former Pittsburgh Pirates first baseman.
See, so then all you need to know, man. They are in orange, ready to be squeezed, just like a good, juicy, ripe one, buddy. And that's what the U.S. is here for. It's just squeeze the life right out of them.
Yeah. Hey, something else too I wanted to mention that we haven't done. We hit 2 milestones. First one, we hit 200 as far as Steelers Realm episodes, and we're actually 220 episodes in from inception too. So,
whoa! Hold on a second, JT. You're telling us we've been around that long? People are still listening to us?
220 episodes strong and going.
Thanks, Steelers Nation. We love you. We love you. We wouldn't do this without you.
No, of course. We do it because we love our fans. We love the interaction. We love the team. And win or lose, we're going to be here talking about them every single pregame and postgame as well, too. So with that said, before we get into it, and it's right around the corner, it's back. He's back. The shitbag of the week is back in the news. And so
it can only be one person, JT. It can only be one. There's only one.
Only be one person. And you know who that is.
Woo. Hey, I like his theme music.
Antonio Brown, the shitbag of the week. Probably shitbag of the year, I think, if it were to give that award out too.
Not the decade.
Early favorite for the decade also.
Yeah.
There you go. So the deal with this was, from what there was a warrant for his arrest issued, and I just I caught that headline and moved on. But did you guys catch the details on that? What all went happen?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I tell you what, it has to do with his baby mama again, and why she just doesn't go find a good lawyer and take him for every penny he's got. I have no idea. But evidently, he threw his baby mama out the door. Mother of 4, by the way, just 4 of his kids. Locked her out of the Tampa house, tossed out all of her belongings, threatened to shoot her, and then threw a shoe at her. And then when the police showed up, he's like, I ain't coming out to get no papers. You can all just leave my property. So the police ended up just leaving before they can come back to go ahead and serve him with his paper. Now, all of this, mind you, on the backside of just completing the lawsuit where he attacked the moving van guy, and instead of 2 years probation, he only had to serve 1 year probation because of good behavior. Good behavior. Now, I can't wait to see what this good behavior is going to get him. I mean, hell, they might make him the mayor of Tampa.
I don't know about that.
I don't think he's going to get elected as mayor of Tampa. He might get one of those honorary keys to the city.
Oh, key to the city. That's even better, CJ. I like a key to the city. Right down there on Ybor Street.
And what's interesting about this is the past 2 weeks, I just kind of paid attention to him on, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, and all that garbage is, he's gone after his best ally in Tom Brady, someone that legitimately tried to help him.
Yeah.
Right. And he's attacked him over his kids in the divorce situation. And quite frankly, 2 weeks ago, I saw him go after Tom after Tom literally tried to help him turn his life around. And I'm like, all right, F this guy. That's all I needed to see.
Yeah, unbelievable.
We talked about that. Him posting fake nudes of Giselle.
Mhm.
Like, what in your head made you even think that that was a cool thing to do? I mean, it just makes absolutely no sense what he's thinking. None, zero, zilch. And I cannot believe he passed all of the tests required to say he's not mentally ill or he's got some type of brain damage. This is not a normal thinking person. I would like to know whose pockets they line to give him a clean bill of health. There is nothing righteous about AB anymore. He is off the deep end.
Yeah, off the charts. No doubt. No doubt. So there you go. He, the owner of the shit bag of the week. There you go, AB. Just can't go away. Just
Hey,
can't
there's another accolade
Thanks,
for
AB.
you, buddy. We know you're listening. You'll probably tweet at us here later tonight.
Thanks,
it.
AB. Appreciate
That's
you. Love
it.
you, brother. Bring us more news next week.
Well, hey, with all that said, let's go ahead and get into the game here. Let's kicking it off. It's a one.
Was that what we're here for, JT? Is to talk about
That's
it?
why we're here. Well, let's go. We're on CBS this week. 1 o'clock kickoff time at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Second week in a row now under a dome. So who cares about the weather, right? But anyhow, game on CBS. Andrew Catalone doing play-by-play. James Lofton on analysis. And,
Hey, is that the F team?
I guess so.
It's like it is the bottom of the barrel. I don't even think we're gonna have a sideline guy.
This is like
I didn't even see him. It was kind of like last minute. What was that? A demotion or whatever?
Hey, anything's better than Jay Feely, so I'll take it.
So, and then, yeah, if you can't watch, guys, listen in, tune in to the Steelers Radio Network on the Steelers app or on any of the Steelers Network radio affiliates, DVE in the Berg or WDAD here in Indiana County. We got Bill Hillgrove, our man, doing play-by-play, Craig with the color, and then Missy Matthews and Max Starks doing sideline. Now, as far as the game goes, guys, all-time record, who do you think owns the edge on that one?
Definitely the Steelers.
14-2-1. And the tie, if we're correct here, the tie ended in a Tommy Maddox Hail Mary pass to Plex that got down to the 1 yard line. We're that close.
So
close
2002, Tommy Gunn in the game, just kind of balling out, doing what Tommy Gunn does. It's his best game he's ever played as a pro. Final play of the game, the second final game, play of the game, the Steelers block a field goal to set this situation up. Tommy Gunn just heaves it as far as he can down the field to Plax, who literally gets tackled at about the half-yard line. Unbelievable.
You know what was even more unbelievable about that game is Tommy Maddox damn near had a perfect passing rating for that game at 129.4. That's how on fire Tommy Gunn was that day.
Did he throw, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he eclipse 400 yards that game?
Oh, absolutely. He damn near hit 500. He was at 473, 4 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. Tommy Gunn was cooking. He even had a 7-yard run.
I would love to see that play. We're going to have to tweet that out for all of our listeners.
Oh, there you go. Dig that up.
Take a peek at our Twitter later tonight. We're going to dig that out because I want to see Tommy Maddox run 7 yards. Because I actually don't believe TA that it happened. I'm going to have to see it too myself.
Oh, I'm telling you, it was there. It was there. And I'll tell you what, we might make fun of Tommy Gunn, but we got to remember when we got Tommy Gunn, we pulled him out of arena football. He was pretty much washed up in the league. And as a Steeler fan, I loved watching Tommy Gunn. because it was
Oh,
all
absolutely.
or nothing with him, man. It was all or
It was.
nothing.
I mean, I was what 5, 6, 7 years old. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Can you tell me a quarterback that had better hair than that man in a visor? He just had the perfect like visor hair as a backup quarterback.
Well, he kind of looked like he should have been a tennis coach.
Oh yeah, I could see
Mm.
that.
Yeah,
Him
yeah.
just out there hitting the balls around with Roger, Federer, Rafael Nadal.
I'm actually
No,
thinking
I
that's
think I could
probably
see
what he's
him.
doing in Texas.
Yeah, it was giving lessons to married women.
Now,
You said it, I didn't.
Yeah.
Just
Tommy
kidding,
was
Tommy.
he was a very good golfer, which part of where I think the hair stems from.
Oh, okay. So good golfers have
So
good hair.
he almost made the U.S. Open cut.
Wow.
Yeah, back in the day.
You have a scar.
That's all I know.
Now he's just back selling insurance.
He was Tony Romo. He was Tony Romo before Tony Romo, with better hair.
I'll tell you what. Speaking of quarterbacks and hair, though, nobody could beat the mustache of Mark Malone, though.
Hey, Tom Selleck was the bomb.
He was. And if there was ever a clone to Tom Selleck, it was Mark Malone.
His doppelganger.
Yeah, we regress. So anyhow, let's get into the game. At first, by the numbers, but before we do that, how about our website is coming along? Here's a shot of it. Take a look at it. It's up there, and something you'll be able to do is if right here our video and our podcast streams are going to be right on the front page moving forward. So there you go. New website. It's kind of temporarily up, but stop by and check us out. Up at the top are all the links to our social media site. So, bear with us as we tidy it up, and we're going to get there too. Also, don't forget to stop out to Steelers Nation local number 724 on Facebook and join our group, man. We just had some new members join up again, just constantly growing. So we appreciate all the members out there and all the posts up there. And you can catch a bunch of stuff out there too. So with that said, CJ, let's get into by the numbers, man. What do you got tonight for us?
I got an interesting kick it off here. 45, the number of receptions of 20 yards the Steelers have allowed on defense. Surprisingly, that's tied for first in the league.
Get out of
You would
here.
think with how the defense has played this year that they haven't really given up that many explosive plays. It's quite the opposite. They've given up some of the most.
That's interesting.
So who are we tied with?
Who we're playing this week? The Falcons.
Get out of here.
So I know everyone looks at these two teams. You look at run first, right? The Falcons, they don't throw the ball unless they have to. And the Steelers, who have relied on the run game. It's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out with big plays being available to both sides.
Does that
True.
mean we get to set a record? We had 6+ plays against Cincy, right? Now we got to shoot for 7+.
I mean, I don't call the plays. I think we'll see. We'll get into that whole ordeal.
We're not sure who's calling the plays.
At this point, they should just, draw it up in the sand. You know what I mean?
Hey, let Kenny Pickett keep playing, keep choosing the points or
Where's
the plays.
when you need him?
Yeah, really. All right, what else you got, man?
491. It's the amount of yards the Steelers have rushing since the bye week. Ranks third during that time frame. Comes out to about 164 yards a game. It is much improved, and I think we would all agree with that prior to. Najee's starting to see some life, obviously. He's been kind of banged up. But overall, the offensive line's played a lot better.
It really has. They've silently gotten better and better each week. Used to be everybody talked about the line play. All the announcers, that was the thing. Steelers line, they're young, they suck, blah, 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 blah. That affects everything else, affects the run game, can't pass, have to throw it quick, blah blah blah. But that's not the case anymore, man. They've been playing pretty good, except for some of the penalties. If I was to say they need to prove anything, it's the penalties.
Well, I'll tell you what, here's something. And granted, the last two names, you can't get too excited because they only had, their first cameo last week. But between Harris, Warren, Snell, and McFarland, since the bye week, they're all averaging over 4 yards a carry.
Nice.
Yeah. And I don't know if we want to dive deeper into this, but earlier in the season, I was asking you guys specifically, where are these trap plays? Where are these pulling guards? Where is a little bit of motion within the offensive line? And I think we're finally starting to see that. I think the Colts game is the most that I've seen. I know it's the most I've seen tackles and guards pulling to the opposite side.
Matt, keep listening to us, brother. We'll make you an OC yet.
I could probably get you rehired at Maryland University here in 2 weeks, bud. Next up, we're going to talk little Anthony McFarland. Now that he's back in the mix with these running back injuries. 365 days, amazingly, a full year. He went in between carries in the NFL. Always been on the roster. Always there. What did you guys see? And do you think going forward, he has a chance to stick, or is this, hey, here's a guy who knows the system. He's probably not going to screw up.
Hey, look, we've talked about this all year. We have got so many different weapons on this team that I just don't think they know how to utilize them all. And on top of that, after that one McFarland run, which I'm sure we're going to just dive into, it was the same thing coming out of the Colts fans that we heard from Cincinnati. They're running the same plays. They're running the same plays.
Now, there is audio of that again from the Colts. Have you seen that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, I mean, if we can figure, I'd love to see McFarland. And Jalen's going to be back this week now, and it also looks like Harris is going to be ready to go. The question is can you find a spot to put all of this together and just keep the offense or the defense off sides or off guard? And here's my thing. Here, listen to me. I don't care if we run the same plays, but run the one play with Najee, run the next play with Snell, and run the next play with Harris. I mean, with McFarland and then with Warren. I don't care. Run the same plays, but the defense won't know that's coming until after the plays because they don't know what them running backs are going to be doing.
And you know what? I didn't get a chance to talk about the Colts game to our listeners and all that stuff. I don't give a crap if they knew the plays. They probably did know the plays. We heard it on audio. They couldn't stop them. They couldn't. Right. Jeff Saturday sitting there like, all right, Jeff, you just got your ass ran over. I don't. And
he had to walk back his handling of the final possession there.
Yes,
too.
Good.
He had to
Jeff.
walk that back big time. I don't know if I would have used the same words that he used, but yeah, that was an interesting. I wish I should have grabbed that clip. But anyhow, anything more on the numbers, man? Let's keep it rolling
up, here. And I think this is the most important, and I'll keep this one moving. 138. That's the amount of passing attempts Kenny's had in the last 4 games. We got 1 interception. We're starting to see him adjust to the speed. There's some stuff that he's still doing that I don't like, and will eventually break down. But it is a big improvement. I think a lot of people soured on his development when he came out and there were 6 turnovers in the first 2 games. But we're seeing it. He's getting better day in and day out. He was some publications. JT, do you have this up? You have this with you? He was one of the publications player of the week. PFF graded him, I believe, the second best quarterback.
Second best, baby.
I did 12. Have that up. I don't know if you can see this or not, but let's see. Let's take a look here. See if you can see that.
Yeah. I mean,
there it is.
Listen, he's a rookie quarterback. He's making adjustments. We're seeing him grow. He's 3-4 as a starter. It's not like he's growing. He's learning. I'm done listening. Listen, I don't know if anyone else saw it. Kurt Warner did a whole breakdown on what he's seen from him. If Kurt Warner is giving you his 2 thumbs up, Dan Orlovsky's giving him 2 thumbs up. I don't need to hear anyone from the Pittsburgh media. That's good enough for me. Those guys are third party. They got nothing to do with this. Good enough for me, baby.
I even thought, I'll give Troy Aikman credit. I'm not a fan of the Troy Aikman Joe Buck show by any stretch of imagination, but I will give Troy credit. Troy turned around, had that interview with Kenny. Of course, Pittsburgh media all jumped on it this week of, is it the speed of the game? And it's not the speed of the game. It's learning the intricacies of the different defenses within the NFL. And the kid's absolutely right. Think about it. How many defenses he's faced, how many different coverages have been disguised, what he's got to learn, and how he's got to protect the ball. And this kid understands it today. It's not the speed of the game he's afraid of or worried about. It's learning the different defenses. And if anything that we've shown or that we've seen over the course of the last couple of weeks is his ability to adjust and to not turn over the ball and run when he needs to, throw when he needs to, or scramble when he needs to. Now, my biggest knock on him, and I've said this all year, and I'll continue to beat on it until I see it change, is his accuracy. I want to see his accuracy get better. Other than that, I love the kid's moxie. I love the kid's determination, and I love the fact that he got his first fourth quarter come from behind victory. And I pray to God there are like 200 more of them to come.
You couldn't have said it any better, baby. One thing that, I think is easily fixable, you look at the George Pickens throw, where he throws it to the left of him, right out of his reach in that game. Easily fixable with his footwork. Right. We've seen him miss checkdowns very little this year. Other than 2 weeks ago, we saw one where he just oversailed Najee. It's going to happen. He's a rookie. He's growing. Yeah. He's learning. I'm happy as hell. I don't know. And if you're not, I hate to tell you, the Big Ben stuff we saw in 2000 whatever, you're never going to see it again. Ever.
No.
So, and
no more Sandlot, huh?
Look around. In the modern era, it's never happened.
Well, cool, man.
What those haters want to hear.
Thanks for the by the numbers. Let's get into the ambulance report. What do you got for that? How we looking? It sounded like we got a lot of players that didn't practice today. What do you got, TA?
You talking about the MASH unit? You better cue up some music for this, baby. I'm ready to go into this. Oh, yeah. Starting to feel the groove here in the little ambulance report. All right. Of course, Najee. Oblique, man. We're not going to have to worry about him. It's not as bad as what they said. He didn't participate, but I look for him to play. Kelia Witherspoon, I still don't see him hitting the field.
No.
Ogie Ben Genobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm a little concerned here, man. Turf toe ain't something to mess with. And
is that what's going on?
I'm pretty sure it's turf toe that he's dealing with, man. And I'm hoping he can make it through the season because we all know from Steeler fans back to Lambert what turf toe can do to a guy. Now, Cam, yeah, he'll be back in. He just took the old man's day off. Looks like Benny Snell got a little swollen in the knee, limited practice. Looks like Spillane may be back again oblique. Now, this is the thing that concerns me. We've got Miles Boykin. We've got Robert Spillane. We've got Najee Harris. And even TJ Watt and Minka Fitzgerald. Yeah, they're listed as ribs, but they've also talked oblique. Why do we have damn near 6 players on the injured list with an oblique or rib injury? So
what was it last year? It was hamstrings last year, wasn't it?
No, last year was the groin, baby.
It was groin. It was the groin.
The year of the groin.
The year of the groin. This year it's the year of the oblique. Good news is, though, we're going to go ahead and see Miles Boykin back on the field. And I'm hoping we see him line up in the wide receiver set, because I think that that's a cat that can get us when we're like 3rd and 4, that he can step over that magical yard line and get that
line.
5th yard. Yeah, that little yellow line. I think Boykins is the guy that can do that. And I also like the fact we're going to get Warren back. So again, how do we go ahead and handle 4 running backs? Can we keep them all on there? But I tell you what, the guy that's really concerning me right now is our offseason acquisition, is Mason Cole. He's been dealing with this foot injury. We've seen him get ran over last week. I mean, JC is a great backup. Give the guy a break, man. Let JC come in, rest that foot up. I mean, because right now, our season looks very favorable. We can actually pull off a 6-0 run here, JT, if we can keep everybody healthy. Hey, you heard it here first, because I'm back on the train. Now, as far as the Falcons go, man, I tell you what, they are in great shape going into December, man. I mean, they've got outside linebacker Arnold Ikabikabikabuti with a forearm. In limited practice, he's going to be there. Same way with their offensive lineman, Chuma Edodoga. He did not practice today, but look for him to be on there. And it looks like Jalen Dalton, their defensive lineman, is dealing with a little bit of a turf toe as well. But, man, they're about as healthy gets. It's the Steelers I'm more worried about. And who's the next man up?
Yeah. Well, no doubt. So let's hope these guys kind of tighten it up and get it together here. We need some of those guys, man. Jalen Warren, it sounded like he was kind of, he was at full practice. So, I mean, that's a hammy. That thing can act up just, one run. We're going to be down there. It's going to be warm, no cold weather. So, cramps and stuff like that.
No breeze.
Right. Have a good night again.
Sounds like vacation.
Yeah. So, cool, man. Well, thanks for that. Let's hope these guys get it together before Sunday, and we can get some of them back on the field too. Hey guys, don't forget about our social media. We're on all the different platforms.
Change the camera, sir.
Yeah. I know the fans want to see my smiley face and my beautiful. There you go. Sorry, fans out there watching us live. JT must have been playing Yahtzee again tonight.
Well, you know what? We wanted to see your face because we can't see it, TA, because you're always looking this way. So I had to get a close up so we could actually see your face. You could look you could look at the listeners as you talk.
Nobody wants to see this face.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see this
anyhow,
face.
Touche, pussycat. Anyhow, let's move on. It wouldn't be a podcast if we didn't get into it somehow or another. But anyhow, love you, brother. Just look at the camera, and I won't keep you full screen anymore. How's that? Deal?
Can you see me?
Yeah. Can you see me now? Or how about this shot? Oh, that looks pretty
bring
good.
him back.
Oh.
Bring him back. We need him.
Hey, he's down there now.
I've been eliminated.
You've been demoted down to the bottom section.
That's where I do my best work.
That's okay. Well, let's move you back up. There you go. Okay. All right. Anyhow, where was I? Social media.
Let's talk some Falcons offense here.
Yeah, really. We're 3/4 of the way through it. Anyhow, we talked about that. Anyhow, so before we do that, we got to give a shout out to our sponsor, Builder Bros, should say, construction. BuilderBros.org. You can find them at. TA, tell us about Builder Bros, man.
Oh, man, we are building the game plan tonight around Builder Bros Construction, because just like it's a good game plan that we need to go into Atlanta with, it's the same type of plan that Builder Bros is going to do to come in and fix your home, because they specialize in insurance claims to where you can sit back, Let the experts do their job. They take care of everything from A to Z. You got a little sewage backup, comes into your basement, ruins the family room. Don't worry about it. They're going to come in. They're going to put that Steelers room right back to normal again. You got a little roof from a little hail damage. Don't worry about it. They're going to come in and they're going to fix it right. You got some siding falling off because of a windstorm. Don't worry. They're going to come in. They're going to assess it. They're going to talk to your insurance agent. They're going to make it right. You got a problem, Steelers Nation, get a hold of Builders Bros Construction.
That's right. You can catch them there. Builderbros.org is their website. Check them out. Thanks, Builder Bros. Appreciate your support, man. So, yeah, let's move in. Let's talk about the game for a second. Who we got to watch out for?
Well, I tell you what. The Falcons, they are committed to the run. They have remarried the run, and they've tripled down on the run. Between Mariota, Algier, and Cordell Patterson, you would swear that they're Navy running the triple option. Their goal is to beat you by keeping the ball on the ground and hoping for you to make a big mistake. Mariota's had a very nice year throwing the football this year. 14 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He's completing 62% of his passes. He's not going to do anything crazy through the air, but he's been very serviceable. With that being said, they kind of have a three-headed monster on the ground. As I've said, Algier, Patterson, Mariota. All are averaging over 4.5 yards a carry.
Hey, you know what, CJ? Don't forget about Chris Huntley, man, because that cat's coming in some spot plays as well, and he's over 4 yards a carry as well.
Yeah, he's at 4.9 yards a carry.
Yeah, so I mean, it's really a four-headed monster. Every time they hit the field, you have to make sure we got a hat on the running back.
Steelers Nation, if you look at kind of who they've modeled themselves after, think of rookie year, early second year Lamar Jackson and what they're trying to accomplish. They're not going to put the ball in the air. They're not going to lose the game by throwing it. What they want to do is they want to pick up 4 to 6 yards a carry, bleed clock, shorten the game, play defense. It's literally the Ravens in Lamar Jackson's rookie year. It's what they're doing with Mariota right now.
Yeah, because and let's face it, I mean, one of their guys who was a favorite receiver, which was Kyle Pitts, or tight end, is not going to be playing. He is now on injured reserve. So now that does open the door either for Hesse or Fursker as far as which one's going to come in there. But I still think we got to pay attention a little bit to Drake London. And here we go, Steelers Nation. Are you ready to go ahead for me to butcher up another name or give him a new one?
I couldn't pronounce this if you gave me $1,000.
That's Haldemide Zacchaeus. How's that?
That's how it usually sounds on Fox.
Yeah, it's for Haldemide. Oh, for Haldemide Zacchaeus. I like it, man. He's in his 4th season. He's only 5'8". Here's the cat that I think that Cam Sutton is going to have to match up against. Or my other favorite, plays with a heart of gold, not athletic, Arthur Millette. We can't let him go ahead and run underneath the middle and expose whether it be Jack, whether it be Bush, or whether it be Spillane. We can't let this cat go ahead and expose us underneath.
And one thing to think about, Drake London, rookie wide receiver, he's kind of, he is their most targeted. He's got 69 targets on the year. He's been good. He hasn't been great. We've seen the big play potential from him. It'll be interesting to see, as the game goes on, as you said, TA, who is covering who. Because I think if you look at it, London's kind of that one guy that has shown throughout the year that he can make a big play when it counts. Something to think about. You look at the Falcons' record; they're 5-7. They're a half game out of first place. This game has a lot of meaning for them. This is kind of one of those must-win games if they want to make the playoffs. As bad as the South has been in the NFC, this is a good opportunity for them.
Well, let's face it. The South is definitely not going to rise with the teams that is in that conference right now. They are all under 500 right now, CJ. They are sorry. They might be the sorriest division in the NFL right now.
Oh, it's without a doubt. It's bad. I mean, the Panthers sent Matt Rule packing the whole way to Nebraska, and they're only a game and a half out of a playoff spot. How pathetic is that?
All right, so here's my question. All right. Do we all realize that we have an individual on our team right now who has basically hit 10 sacks, and his name is not TJ Watt?
Yes.
He's
tell
like
tell everyone who, though.
It is Mr. Highsmith. He is the 7th player to make it in 11 games for the Steelers at this present time and moment. And Mariota has been sacked a total of 27 times. If we are going to win this game, and again, we're evenly matched. 4-7, 5-7, does it really matter? Tomato, tomato at this present time and moment. The question is can our defense step up, come out after halftime? I'm not worried about the first 2 quarters with this team. I'm not worried about them at all. I'm starting to see enough of the first 2 quarters that this team comes to play. It's after halftime. Can they keep him contained? And do we need to put a spy on Mariota? Because he may be the fastest quarterback yet that we faced all year.
I think they're just going to take the game plan that they've kind of used against the Ravens that has been very successful in these past years, and I think they're going to take it and try to apply it towards the Falcons.
So we're going to see a spy.
Yes, 100% you have to, because they're going to run a lot of read option stuff. They're going to run a lot of quick RPOs to the tight ends. Now, like you said, Kyle Pitts is going to be out, but it's still something that Arthur Smith, their first-year head coach, we've seen with the Titans, that he's kind of brought to the Falcons, and something that we will ultimately see. That's what their entire offense is predicated on.
So Bush and Jack have to stay at home, and they have to have gap containment. They have to keep their eye on Mariota and not let him squirt out and turn this game in the opposite direction.
100%. This comes down to, we've seen Miles Jack play well. I think we all agree he's been one of the best free agent signings we've seen the Steelers make in the past few years. We've also seen Devin Bush has played really well this year.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
The grading
he's played better. I'll give you that.
No,
I'll tell you what, the grading for Devin Bush is kind of off the charts compared to last year and the year before. He's quietly doing it, JT. He really is. I know it may not be passing your eye test, but he's quietly doing it, and he's ranking right up there with some of the elite. Am I right or wrong, CJ?
You are very right. He is actually one of the best tacklers in the NFL this year. His tackle percentage is off the charts. It's something that he's completely improved upon last year. He is making more plays. Listen, I'm not a Devin Bush fan, but Steelers Nation, you have to take a look at this guy and you have to say he's improved. And this is kind of the game.
I'll give you that. I'll give you improved. I'll say better. I'll give you that.
This is the game that he's going to have to prove it, because his importance to this team and what the Falcons are going to try to do is going to be. He's going to
need to be where he's supposed to be.
Yes.
Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
All right. Now that we know about the offense, what do we got to watch out on defense? What's Kenny got to be careful of?
Yeah, what's Kenny's big challenge?
Rashawn Evans. 119 tackles already. Think about that.
Third in the league. Wow.
The man knows what he's doing. I'm not overly impressed by the Falcons defense, but someone like him, he's made big plays in the past. He can get it done. TA, why don't you talk about Mr. Grady Jarrett, the pass rushing threat?
Well, look, I mean, right now, Evans is no slouch, but Jarrett may arguably be the best player on their defense. He always seems to have timely sacks. He's at 5.5, and he's got the same type of mentality TJ does, where he's batting them down at the line of scrimmage. 6 pass defenses from a defensive end position. You cannot fall asleep on this guy at all. I mean,
left side or right side? Left side or right side?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that, JT. He is on the right side. So that means he is going to be going up against our $1 million wonder. Do you know who that is?
Dan Moore.
No, that's the left side. No, I'm kidding.
Okay,
you're right,
well,
JT.
I'm thinking,
No, you're right,
I'm
JT. I'm just messing with you. He is going up against Dan Moore.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just messing with you. So Dan's going to have a big game.
Facing them. That's why. But anyhow.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I'm just messing with you, brother. No, Danny Moore is going to have himself a very good day against this cat.
So what is the over-under on Dan Moore's either false start or holding penalties?
Going to have to set that at 2. I'm going to set it 3.5.
So
is that according to DraftKings?
Nah, that's according to the CGA Sportsbook, and that is a very juiced 3.5.
The CJFF. That could be an over there. All right. Sorry, TA. Go ahead, man.
No. That's all right. That's all right. But I tell you what, another cat I think we got to really watch out for is they do have another good linebacker in Mr. Walker. I mean, this cat here is second on their team with 93 tackles. Michael Walker. I mean, he's got 1 sack, he's got 1 forced fumble, and he's got 2 interceptions. So he always seems to be in the right place at the right time. I'm not necessarily going to say he's the most athletic, the most gifted, but he's got the football smarts, and you cannot fall asleep on this guy. And the other thing you can do is Richie Gant. I mean, he's a safety that's not afraid to come down and make a tackle in the box, man. And he, too, also has a knack of being around the ball.
Yeah, he's got 82 tackles on the year, 7 pass defenses, and 2 interceptions. He's kind of just everywhere on that defense.
But
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was just go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, just kind of reading on him this year, I'm not going to sit here and say I know everything that he does, but I've seen a lot of highlights, and I've seen some big hits from him this year.
And the one thing that the Falcons have been is opportunistic in the splash plays with turnovers. I mean, they've got multiple players, whether it be sacks, whether it be interceptions, whether it be forced fumbles. They are an opportunistic defense. So they're scrappy. I mean, they're just scrappy. So to think that we're going to go in there and this is going to be a cakewalk, it's not necessarily going to be a cakewalk as long as we're crossing all of our I's and dotting all of our T's.
It's very interesting you say that because Walker Grant and the other safety, Hawkins, all have multiple interceptions, and Hawkins has multiple fumble recoveries too. They are, as you said, opportunistic, and they can take advantage of a turnover. And it's going to come down to Kenny protect the football still. And that'll keep the offense in plus territory.
So the question is now, guys, are you ready? It's the big Tomlin word. JT, tell me you have it queued up. Can we stack some?
Wins, baby. Stack some wins.
Could you imagine if we actually won back-to-back games this year?
What is that?
I mean, you're laughing at it, but here we are in week 12, or I'm sorry, week 13, and we have yet to win back-to-back games. Is this the first week we see back-to-back games, guys? Is
I
it?
don't know. I hope so.
Are we feeling that good?
I'm feeling great, baby. And if it ain't happening this week, it ain't ever happening this season.
This is probably the best chance, so let's go for it, man. Let's just go for it. Let's do it.
Once we get into the predictions here, are we ready for predictions?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Absolutely.
You guys ready?
Let's throw them
All right.
out there.
Yeah, we're
right.
overtime anyhow, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and rip into
The
it.
running games.
Before we do that, let's talk about the division real quick. Just real quick around who's got what. Let's see. For the North, we've got we've got the Ravens and Bengals technically tied score-wise, but 7-4 Ravens with the tiebreaker, I believe, with the division lead. Bengals have only beat the Steelers. And then us and the Browns. It's like 7-4, 4-7. But anyhow, what do we got as far as opponents? Cleveland heads to Houston, which is an interesting game with the headline there being Watson coming back, his first game playing against his old team. Interesting.
My question in that whole, Watson, Houston, Cleveland relationship, will we see a happy ending to this? Can we finally put this to bed?
A happy ending on whose part? Houston or Cleveland?
Yeah.
The Houston fans getting a happy ending.
Wait a minute. Did you guys see what's getting ready to happen down there? The lawyer for all of the women that have accused Deshaun of disbehavior, he has bought them tickets to be at that game.
I have my thoughts on this. We could probably.
I am dead serious, JT. I'm dead serious. Can you imagine what kind of protest or what this is going to be? And I'm kind of curious to see if national television will go ahead and announce this, because it's been in the local papers that this is going down. Question is will we see about it nationally?
Yes, because the heat's already starting to pick up on ESPN.
That's too juicy a subject, man. Too juicy. You can't ignore that one. That's a headliner for sure. Yeah. So we got Bengals hosting the Chiefs Sunday. That'll be interesting. That's a rematch of the AFC playoffs, right?
Yes, sir. And you know what? The Chiefs are going to shove it up their butt.
Yeah.
And we'll call it a game.
I think that
too.
And in Baltimore may distance themselves from Cincy this week with them hosting the Broncos. I don't know what you guys think about that game, but I'd probably take Baltimore in that game. I don't know.
I'll keep it short and sweet. The Broncos are an absolute dumpster fire right now. I would take Alabama over the Broncos right now.
Yeah, I mean, right now the Broncos, they're talking about already firing their coach at the end of the year. This is one job that no dignified head coach or offense coordinator will take the job. And Baltimore has a history of just whipping the snot out of the Broncos. But I just got a feeling the Broncos pull this out.
You're crazy. And I can't wait to see you Monday night, baby.
and that's fine, CJ. I'm going out there on the limb, but there's just something that tells me the Broncos are going to take this. Don't ask me what it is. Divine intervention. I don't know. And I'm probably 100% off base here, but I got a feeling.
So it may work out. Steelers win. Cleveland wins against Houston. Bengals lose. Baltimore wins. So
let's muddy up this
the
division.
bottom of the division might get a little bit tighter.
That's why you play the game, baby.
5-7 versus 7-5.
Any given
Closer.
Sunday.
And we still got 2 games to play against the Ravens.
Any given Sunday.
And one against the Browns, too. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
You're not wrong.
Any given Sunday. So, well, let's do this. Let's get into predictions. Put a bow on this one with our predictions. Freight Train was off this week, and but he did put his prediction in at 24-10 Steelers. 24-10 Steelers. I got mine written in already. I'm going 21-20 with a close one. Steelers edge it out, hold on at the end to pull away. I don't know what the numbers are. What's the Vegas numbers? Over under.
The Steelers are favorites by a whole whopping. Are you ready for this? 1 point.
Oh, well, look at that. I'd be a push, wouldn't I? 21-20.
You'd be a push.
I'd be a push. I'm sure I'm probably over the over and under. But what do you got, TA? What do you think, man?
Oh, well, here's a couple things, JT. I mean, first of all, Mr. Mike Tomlin is 13-7-1 coming off of a Monday night game. So this is a short week. However, the Steelers since 1966 have the second highest winning percentage, only behind the Green Bay Packers. Not to mention, do you know that we have the most one-score game wins since 2021?
Oh, really?
I do not, but that's the least surprising stat of all time.
At the end of all of this, and just knowing how we do or how we fare against NFC teams, I'm going really off a limb here of what we've learned tonight, and especially seeing that this team is tied with us for giving up huge yardage plays. I am looking for Kenny Pickett to go ahead and really put his stamp on the NFL, and I am going to go with, are you ready for this? 33-23.
I tell you what, I have a lot of the same thoughts. I think this game's going to go off the rails, which you can join us for right after the game. I got this game 38-35 nail biter. The offense is going to come out. No, the defense is going to step up in the fourth quarter and get a stop late.
Okay.
I think the offense is improved vastly. This is a nice matchup for them. Just 2 bad teams going at it, scoring points, having fun, entertaining the fans. That's all I got for this one.
Steelers or Falcons?
Steelers.
You never said. All right, so we're
that was
four,
a big build
all
up.
Four. I guess kind of lost me there. So all 4 of us picking Steelers. All right, there you go. We got them down.
The old kiss of death.
Yeah, stick a fork in it.
Everyone listening, bet on the Falcons.
Oh, there you go. Well, hey, 1 point. What was the over-under? Do you remember?
I believe it was 47.5.
No, okay. I definitely got the under.
Excuse me, no, 42.
Oh, I got the over. I got the
under
over by one.
A lot.
By one. You guys are going out there. So cool beans, guys. Let me see. Anything else? What else did we forget?
Say goodbye.
We were pretty forgetful last time, so apologize for that. But hey, Saturday, USA versus Netherlands again in soccer. Football, not football. We should get our boys from the UK on one of these days too. I'll work on that. Speaking of guests too, don't forget you'll see some more. We're going to promote the crap out of this. Shelby Cassesi coming on for the Raiders game, which is the 50th anniversary. Big week for Steelers Nation. And we're excited to host her on the 22nd for our pregame show, December 22nd. Shelby Cassesi from 93.7 The Fan and KDKA Sports News. So appreciate her coming on there, guys. Been a great night. Good to see you again. Good to talk our favorite subject, which, of course, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the black and gold. Careful in the hot tub, everyone. Guys, have a great week. See you next time.
Night, Steelers Nation.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Sue Ellen. Good night, Mary Ann. Good night, Steelers Nation.
Check back next week into the Steelers realm.